Renegade when afraid, man in the wilderness. Keep it real and it's on you now, tabloid. Wagwan. Good afternoon, good evening, good night, good morning. Yes. Yeah, we're vex some man, you know, because with some things are really it's our vex. Yeah, we not like some little coward go around and do some things where we not agree with, can't agree with this. And we tell them to push them out, you know, they need to push them out. You see me, I say? Can't go around and just kill out people like this, some unarmed people. For reprisal. And you just go at some little place. And the man, them around there, so, you know, while doing the foolishness, at time phone to stop it because, you know, I'm just telling you something. Western Park, I'm telling you something. You can't go for man from, you know, in a St. Catherine and then send them to go mash up people. Them don't know nobody over there, brother. Yeah? You want to get all accountable for this. And the authority to go over Gregory Park on the bank and go for them who go over there. Yes. Foolishness are foolishness. No more, no garbage on you. We don't want no garbage. Anyway, we see the Prime Minister, we see your press briefing, and we're going to play it. We're going to play it. And we hear some things that we have to correct that too, yeah? Yes, we are correct it. I think, I think them said 2 more die, you know. That I move it to 10. If we hear correctly, you know, and that it's sinful. But me hear Fix Bailey say about terror and the Prime Minister says terror. Be careful how you use word, man, because the prize that cannot beat terror, brother. And terror are more like a political thing, or you know, or a religious thing and them thing. Look at the meaning of word when I use, you know, for that shit too, you know, stop it. You understand? Yes. It's a mass killing, but reprisal, and you know can't import people from over Gregory Park on the bank and yeah, Western Park. Couldn't be a chat. And then send them for a mash up people. Them don't know what them are doing, do all kind of things. Police run for circle them still. But we're going to show the thing, we're going to start the thing now, and then we're going to play the press brief.
We in lump sum, we a beat it till the hammer burn. We now make them get in a them and again. None of them boy, we none of them. We alone some rise up the bomber them.
Not a Judas, them a backstabber. I'm my wife, and this straight beauty and glamour. No guy can walk to name me with no dagger. Maybe the heart of Mandela, but the mind of a Zama in the mold. Like a bullman, we send us the glamour. Lyrically inclined, be a metaphor, so no listen to lyrics line to line. Become a lyrical fader. Put up in everything, they load some more hole in a head.
Yeah, man, lonesome. There, man, renegade. When people feel angry, you know, really feel angry, you know, in a spirit and anything, then, you know, cowards, you know, punks. You know, punks, some little guy we got to take up machine and them feel them have the world and, you know, them are the baddest thing. People not afraid of them. That's shit, man. People not afraid of them. But, you know, Prime Minister, seems like I come to the press briefing. But the one do the press briefing too, I used to mention about the tons of cocoa for me. That she got for a lot of things too. It can't be just them youth that will do reprise that. And don't call reprise that. Now copy for you know. And I mean you drop some word about if I alone and gang and them thing there. Stop them thing there. Yeah? I remind you what you said though. As opposition too. Stop your foolishness, man. We just want to stop it and get real. See? Yes. Them guys get really upset. That's why I can't kill off people like this. Unarmed people. Yeah? And to make the Prime Minister come tell about the terror. Reprisal are not terror, man. Reprisal, man. Now, I'm show you why you must use the word terror. You want fix bail. You know what I do, you know. Bail sit and like what you say, I come use no word, you know. Don't make them use nothing about no terror. So I'm showing you what them say about this are the meaning for terrorism. In the broad sense, it's use of violence against non-combatants to achieve political, ideological aim. So like, you understand the term, you know why you use the term. Why you use the word about terror? You understand? Don't use the word about no terror. Mass casualty, but when you use it like a political thing, like in Jamaica, or, you know, like we have some people maybe have a different ideological thinking than you believe, and then feel that them alone for exist, and then come there for them take on the building there. You know, Jamaica and they start to use some word when I'm mass killing this, you know, massacre, right? But you know, it's a reprisal because the 5 the dead are standing them say you gotta do a bigger thing. Come on, you know better than that. Don't use the word. Same. Stop push out some things and everything we are using and things we are correct on it, you know. Stop it. One like that tribal thing, you know, don't do it. Don't do it. See? Yes. But them have to get back. You have to draw them to justice, man. Them evil, man. By the next end, them forget push out. See? But me could hear what the Prime Minister said, no? And we're going to hold you accountable for some things, yeah? Me could hear what you say. Me could hear the me could hear this, Prime Minister. Yes? Me could hear this. Open it. All right. We could start that thing. We start the video, you know? Yeah. So long as I could start. Okay. Hold on more. Press release. Okay. 4 minutes. Hold on more. All right. Hold on more. All right. Start the release. Right. The book are coming now, so yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Jamaica. It's August 12th, 2024, and it's a rather somber morning for so many of us. This morning, we're going to be dealing with the horrendous murders that took place last night in Cherry Tree Lane in Clarendon. And with us today, we have members of the National Security Council that just finished their meeting. We have our Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of National Security, the Honorable Dr. Horace Chang. We also have with us our Attorney General, Dr. Derek McCoy is here. In the room, we also have Vice Admiral Antoinette Weems-Gorman, our Chief of Defense Staff. We also have Mr. Fitzbailey, who is the DCP for Crime and Security, and today he is Acting Commissioner of Police. I also note that we have Colonel Desmond Edwards, who is the Director General of MOCAN. We also have the Permanent Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, Ambassador Rocky Mead, with us. In terms of the order, we're going to go straight to it. So first, we're going to hear from the JCF, and Fitzbailey will be give us some details in relation to what actually happened last night and what the police will be doing. We also then will have Vice Admiral Antoinette Weems-Gorman, our Chief of Defense Staff. She will speak to the JDF's role in the response. And then following her will be the Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Dr. Horace Chang. And then we will have a statement from our Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Andrew Holness. So they will come in that order. So Fitzbailey, I ask you to be the first to come to the podium. Thank you.
Honorable Prime Minister Holness, Deputy Prime Minister Horace Chang, other distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I regret to report a devastating incident that occurred in Clarendon on Sunday, August 11, 2024, about 8:45 p.m., resulting in the loss of 8 innocent lives and injuring 9 others. The attack carried out by armed men in motor vehicles targeting 2 gatherings, leaving a trail of destruction and chaos. Tragically, 1 child is among the deceased and another is among the injured. Preliminary investigation suggests that the attackers used high-powered firearms indiscriminately, firing on the gatherings. Our team are working tirelessly to identify the perpetrators and their motives. We have deployed additional resources to the affected area to maintain order, provide support to the victims' families, and ensure the community safety. There was a birthday celebration being held by a 31 years old bar owner of Cherry Tree Lane for her boyfriend, a 24-year-old mechanic of Cherry Tree Lane. Several persons from the community gathered at the celebration. Whilst at the location at First Lady's headquarters, a white Axio motor car, registration number and letter not yet ascertained, drove up. 3 men alighted with rifle and handguns. The gunmen opened fire at the group of persons who ran in different directions. After the shooting ended, it was discovered that several persons were shot and injured. They were taken to the hospital, and at the end of the count, 8 died, including an 8-year-old boy, and 9 were injured, including a baby of 1 year and 8 months. The police is following a number of theories and line of inquiries. At this time, I am unable to get into those details, but I guarantee you that we will ensure that the perpetrators are brought to justice. We are confident in the ability of the law enforcement agencies, and we are following some significant lead. This incident is so tragic, is a significant attack on, I consider, the state. And as I said yesterday,
and barely every attack, whether them dead 2 by 2 or 3 by 3, it's an attack on the state. So me not understand me I say significant attack. So there are people that ain't gone up too much thousand. It's not attack, it's not attack, it's not a crime committed against the state same way. Some man can talk some things, they say, continue.
its intention is to create intimidation and fear within the community. We have imposed a curfew in the area.
So you see who suffer now, people? Them pose a curfew in the area. Can the area them come from, you know? Not the area. Some come from over Western Park. Them have some local shooting over the side there. Farmer with them at Western Park. And then, you know, you have reprisal, but them carry the man them from over in St. Catherine there, so. Them for go over Gregory Park on the banks, go check it. Them carry the man them from over St. Catherine, come do this. Same imported man. You understand? Reprisal. Reprisal. Eh? All right.
And we will be engaged in a lot of activities to ensure that those who are responsible are brought to justice. We will identify and locate the suspect. we will ensure to mitigate any form of
So why they never identify the suspect before them thing happen? Look how long them out there do them thing. Eh? Continue.
reprisal by our presence. And we will, and I will appeal, and we are appealing to the public. If you have any information, please pass it on to us. This senseless act must be dealt with swiftly and proportionately. And the JCF and the law enforcement agencies are committed to ensure that that is done. Thank you.
Honorable Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, members of the National Security Council, other attendees, and members of the press, good morning. As indicated by Mr. Fitzbailey, the occurrence in Clarendon merits special attention by the security forces. And consequently, in addition to all the ongoing anti-gang task force operations and other security operations, I've directed a specific team to treat this particular incident. They will assist the JCF in conducting special and targeted operations to ensure that the perpetrators are brought to justice.
But look how me I watched it. Me not, say this me not like though, because this now are the soldiers of them at Jamaica this. Me after the youth them forget flush out, but this are the soldiers of Jamaica talk to me. I talk about civilian in Jamaica. Not in Haiti, not in Cuba, not in America, not in somewhere else, but in Jamaica. And she direct this. Yeah? Me not like this. Yeah? Them boy forget flush out still, but you can't, we not break laws, open laws. That, it's a military at peak. Yeah. After them direct and them are going to do this and do that. Military. In your country. All the mightiest country on earth not do this. You can't have the military do this. Them go out there to go deal with it. The police supposed to have the arm and the capabilities to do these things. You see what the military do? Okay. We continue. Yes. We have a plus out and you there about me not that military thing, yeah. Me not in that sitting. Nah, do it. You understand? No. Continue.
We will continue to support the JCF in this and all their security operations to ensure that Jamaicans can feel safe. Thank you.
Yeah.
Honourable Prime Minister, Head of Security Forces, this most brutal and reprehensible act by criminal gangs in Central
Please remember that this most brutal. Come on, play some video with me done.
Clarendon is totally intolerant. It's designed to disrupt and terrorize an entire community.
Stop using the word terrorize, man. Mass production. It's a reprisal. No. Continue.
We will respond with the most severe action to disrupt the criminals and reassure the law-abiding citizens. Intelligence indicates inter-gang collaboration in these areas, and I have accepted recommendations from the security forces to have extensive areas of curfews across the central, southern Clarendon, south and northern St. Catherine, where gangs collaborate. This incident comes at a time when the security forces have been doing extensive work in these areas. In fact, in all the 3 police divisions, there have been significant reduction in homicides. Clarendon, in fact, enjoys a 39% reduction in homicides for this year, reflects hard, coordinated work between all elements of the security forces.
So I will never pick up this. If I want to work on a deduction, hard coordinated, but you don't pick up this, and the man could have drive with M16 and gun and fire and kill so much people and then get away. But when I coordinate and do things, people them should just go from front of me too, But me I go and play. You understand? Me done with PR, Them boy, them people for fling them out. Me done with PR. Me not in the PR with them, All right.
intelligence, operation, and the geographic divisions.
Intelligence, operation, and geographic division. Hear this?
Overall,
People them lose them life. How you gonna pick up that?
reduction in homicide was at 17% up to yesterday before the Spark
Yeah,
incident.
he might tell you about up to 17% and all kind of thing. But tell anything you have to any time. Eh? All right.
The month of August, in fact, had a significant continuation of the fall in homicides. In fact, we're 29 behind before this particular incident, 23 compared to 54. That kind of reduction brings a level of calm to our communities.
Yeah, why the people them get catch? Because them continue to tell us everything good. So people them feel calm. And so much people that dead off now. Yeah?
Of terrorist activities designed to disrupt that.
There is no terrorist activities, Crab. Stop use that when you look up terrorist activities. Don't look up what is terrorism. Yeah?
The death of one child and the injury to another one is particularly traumatic to the community. Not only intolerant, but will involve the strongest measures from the security forces. We value the lives of our children. All elements of the security forces, Jamaica Defense Force, the Constabulary Force, supported by MOCA, will be mobilized, led by the police force, of course, in the areas identified. They'll have the full support of the government. We'll find and apprehend, disrupt, and degrade the criminal gangs as is required. The social support services of government will also be brought to bear in the relevant community of Cherry Tree Lane and across the areas where the gangs have taken action to disrupt lives of our citizens. All action will be started immediately, and the security forces provide those. I will, in fact, as I said, accept the recommendation for extensive curfews across the central, southern Clarendon, north and south St. Catherine as required to give the police the required powers to find, apprehend, and disrupt the gangs in these areas. Thank you.
So when I tell me China people, now let's talk up, you know. You just tell them I work. But you have to give the police the powers now. The curfew powers for fine and tell them now have the powers like Popeye, eating spinach. Them can't fine and do nothing. You ever hear anything like this? Eh? God damn it, hey. Sure. Continue.
Good morning, everyone. It is indeed a sad day for all Jamaica. First, let me begin by extending my deepest condolences to the families and loved ones of those whose lives were brutally snuffed out in this dastardly incident. I feel the pain and share the distress of the families, the loved ones, the communities, and indeed the entire Jamaica. And I also pray for the recovery of those who were injured. I stand here today with firm resolve that everyone, and I mean everyone, who was in any way involved in this incident will be brought to justice. I want to make that absolutely clear.
Much time you say that. Eh? All right.
The incident is one which cannot be allowed to stand in any way, lest it become the normal routine of criminals. It is a criminal act. It is against our laws. It is an attack on the public order. But I want you to consider for a moment that it goes beyond the victims. It goes beyond the community in which it was perpetrated. It is an attack on every Jamaican. It is an attack on every community.
Every single one of them is attacked on every Jamaican. I will put it right across, yes.
The intention was not only to harm the victims. The intention...
Yeah, the intention is a reprisal. So the intention of a two back like 2-5 dead over so them want do more. So the intention of the arm them like 2 area war. Yeah? Don't put no intention in our mouth, because we know the intention. Don't play that. I want to play back some of your things them where I want you to do. Because we see you try to play around the thing. We not play with you. Oh.
Was not only to spread terror in the local community.
Terror.
No, this act is designed to spread terror in the nation.
The act designed to spread terror and it's a reprisal. That's what I tell you. So we're afraid of when you talking about. Yes. See? People who just took one terror for me now and tell me now, please don't ask. I mean, sure it is. Terrorism. Yeah, I mean, I don't know like this, them come for right or so. Yeah. Same like how you see in a Palestine and thing there, you see them have a reason why them go do that, right? Yes. You see what going in Israel and you see what going in Palestine. And you see what going. So this is the way terrorism does, see the violence against non-combatants to achieve political, ideological aims. So why him come, I want them to achieve some political, ideological aim? Why not come and embrace about terror? It's a reprisal. Is that like a man heard something to you, you want to give them 100 for it? Because you don't want them come back, or them come back and knock you, and you knock, so it will cause so much blood spill. Right? If you just stop them foolishness, nobody talk some things right there make no sense. Anyway, go and run this. Because them go and let them forget push out, you know. Either thing them want with. But him, no based upon this. I run and I spread some other little thing when I night. Too much foolishness. Stop that foolishness and just see with the matter where you have front of yourself. Yeah? All right.
This is an act of terror.
It's not an act of no terror. The reprisal. So it's a political thing or the you know, ideological thing. It's a reprisal. It's a massacre killing. Because you go upon they say 5 go over there, so. I hear say 10 or 11 go over there, so you know, see what go on. Eh? You hear what I'm saying? All right.
So it can't be treated as ordinary criminality.
You hear what I'm saying?
And that is why we convened the National Security Council this morning. We deliberated for much longer than we had anticipated because there are many issues involved, issues which we will not go into today, but which the nation should be assured that we are examining all dimensions of this terror act.
Foolishness.
We know that persons overseas are involved and connected in this act. We know that persons who are incarcerated presently have connections in this act. We know that multiple gangs are connected and involved in this act. Every gang, every person who in any way facilitated, provided the arms, or were involved and pulled the trigger themselves, we will find you. And
so you can't find them yesterday them overseas, so you can find them. Last day 130, no me is a 31 again. Oh, you can find them. Eh? Man, let's go for the youth, them, you know. Maybe people them go push them out, you know.
We will bring you to justice.
Get it?
I want that to be absolutely clear. We will not treat this as another criminal act. We will treat this as an act of terror.
Man, stop use them murder in Jamaica, man. But act of terror is a reprisal thing, man. You hear it, man?
Therefore, we have given directions to the security forces to launch an all-out assault on the gangs that are involved. Indeed, any gang that is involved.
So you might tell the security forces just go kill some young people and say you're part of gang. This doesn't make no sense. If people don't want to push out a tree, you would go there, so you talk about firing where you can't touch, you talk about we know. In fact, any gang. So they like kill people and say them in a gang up, it make sense. The government of Jamaica terrorize the people them now, you know. Go work with the people them and go get the culprit them. That's what you do. Can you hear him foolishness? All right.
There is no way that 8 persons can be killed in one incident in Jamaica and the state stands as if nothing happened. No. Every gang member, every gang will feel the full force of the state today.
You can't get every gang, you never have so much people that talk about gang and that kind of thing. Feel the full force of the state. Go for the youth, them. Go for them. Make people work and you get them forget push out. But every gang, why you come tell with them foolish stuff? Eh? But you come have attack too much, man. If you was that train, you mash up, brother.
This must never happen again in Jamaica. Last year, November, another act of terror took place where a gangster with a high-powered weapon shot up a public passenger vehicle and killed 2 innocent children. I made the commitment that they would be found and brought to justice. And indeed, they were. Today, I make a similar commitment. And everyone who is involved in this will be brought to justice.
Remember, there's a commitment. And him just say foreign people, him not get him, they go for 30. No, you show him to 31. Him say everyone, because if you tell us the people in a foreign, you know, you can't carry them down back in Jamaica, you know. Yeah, bring them to justice. Yeah? Out of your mouth and you make commitment. But yeah, you make a commitment before. Come and play them when we're done. Continue.
Whichever form the justice is visited upon them.
Yeah, when I use the word, whichever form justice visited upon them. So before you go for them people, you make the people them use one and go for them. No, you want to go for some other youth. But you don't want to kill long time. And kill them and say them apart again when them not have nothing to do down there to maybe not know down there. That make no sense to me, you know. Yeah? Say if you don't go around and terrorize the youth, remember me same one. Because we don't forgot the egg anyway, you know. We know another foolishness tonight, you know. Yeah? All right.
We have played with gangs for far too long. We have treated them as if they were Robin Hoods.
It is.
Communities have been too sympathetic to them.
You might blame community now. Community are too sympathetic. Ask him. Ask the Prime Minister. But when run down, it's part him run where my MPF down there is a place like up in Norwood or is a ghetto garrison. Yeah? And ask some of them where to how them get the vote. Yeah? Yeah. See, the ask them how them get the vote. I mean, none of them talking with him, you know. We want them to push out. But him to stop do this, man. Him to stop it. You hear what I say? I play something, you know. I play. But I listen to him, I will hold him to account. Yeah? Yeah, man.
communities have given them succor and protection.
I'm not wicked, you know. Brother, you know you have community where you run, where you know what you deal with, you know. You know you have community. Not for the MP, them have garrison community with them and them know what them deal with. And you blame the community, you know, about succor and protection. When you want to vote, who you go to, who no buy liquor, who no sit down with, which a leader who no deal with. You never stop the hypocrisy business, you know, man. Stop it, man. People must listen to them garbage. Yeah, come talk those cards straight and decide. Don't say, hey, you know, people, we need to get them, yeah. What does to this? I'm telling them that example, though. We don't like foolishness. No. Him start blame every community and not put no blame on himself. Him. None of them. We don't work out for that neither. Play.
We must use this as the opportunity to draw the line finally in the sand and to separate the gangs from our communities.
Yeah, there. Tell them to do it back in for first to lead by example, man. Line up the police and soldiers and go clear up your community, brother. Eh? You hear him?
The gangs are not merely youngsters who are poor and dispossessed.
Yeah,
if you have that view, you are under a disillusion.
Him right pan that to the people. Let me tell you something. You hear him say? Them the poor and dispossessed. Because the real gang, them are the big boys. But him not go for them. Him not go for them at them and the big boys. The same politician, them and them make up the gang. And them are the real gangster, you know. You hear him say? Poor. I disillusion. Him drop the word. But at the youth, them make up. Instead of him go clean out the gang and him know the gang them. See? Him know them. Continue. Continue. You hear him say them not poor or nothing? Him right. Listen, Holness, you're right on that. You're right. But you're not go for them. You said the thing you saw, but at the little youth, them you go for the same way. Yeah? You should not go for the poor youth. You hear what I'm saying? You're not right.
You're misguided.
Oh!
The gangs are, some of them, second and third generation, meaning that they have transitioned from just street level operations to higher level coordinated activities to transnational, and some of them have transitioned into business.
So, into business? No, for them transition into business. No for them. You hear this? Yeah? All right.
The gangs are organized economic enterprises.
Thank you. Hey, me take out a little part here, you know. Let me pay it back.
And dispossessed. If you have that view, you are under a disillusion. You're misguided. The gangs are, some of them, second and third generation, meaning that they have transitioned from just street level operations to higher level coordinated activities to transnational, and some of them have transitioned into business.
Hold on.
The gangs are organized economic enterprises.
Organized economic enterprises. You hear what again? Effect. You hear what again? The organized, the enterprises, economic enterprises.
How come they don't take the bank account? Or whether you put the money seized and land seized and car seized?
The one them upset, the billions. Yes.
Yeah, the billions. The gang where they take them recently, man.
Yes.
One man go to prison.
Yes.
Or when I hear them seize the assets.
No.
That is an economic enterprise.
But hear this now, them just get $1 billion out of jobs. $12 billion out of jobs. Them get money out of it and now them not push out the name them, you know. I mean I get the name them, man. The Bible would come from John's Lane.
It makes no tactical sense.
Thank you.
I listened to it last night. No tactical sense. Because the Miami last a couple more weeks ago.
Yes.
right? The second, the cartel leader was arrested in the United States of America. And they even released who set him up. All of the names were released by ATF, the US government. There's no hiding, everything is transparent.
Yes.
Right? And that is even a bigger cartel than what is happening in Jamaica. You know? When I just, again, I heard what Maria was saying last night about the 9-day wonder. And you have to continue. You have to continue, brother. There's this organizer. You might talk about an enterprise. He's a part of it.
Thank you.
He probably not even know say he's a part in it. Because you're getting money, you're getting donations, you don't even know that some of these people mix up in a damn something.
Yes.
Right? You're borrowing money and you're partnering with people.
That SSL.
Exactly.
And other things.
Partnering with people and you don't even know where their money come from. So this enterprise we must speak of. It's probably a cog in the wheel and not even know. Right? So we can't do all my move, we can't put on past him. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, man.
It's just a sad day. I mean, what going last night is everything we keep on, I said, with law enforcement and the management. Your thing is not to do PR. We understand that you have to come out and communicate.
Yes.
And you have to make people feel safe. But looking at the crime trends and get up every day and say crime down. No, find guns. Make arrests. You have other ways you can communicate that you're doing your job. Getting up every day and talking about the crime rate falling and we're not impressed.
Right? The fall gone away, no better.
For an individual to move in a vehicle, right? Then by now we still have state of emergency, we still have so whatever, we still have police and one partner with long gun.
Yes.
Police still kill a lot of people.
Yes.
Right? So that's it's happening. So everything is happening. Right? And you still can feel comfortable if you have rifles in a vehicle. Even more emboldened are you that you can go in and shoot up not one, but 2 separate venues.
And 17 people.
Right?
11 died now, 11. You say 11 gone. 11 gone and not yet again, 11. Yes.
It says something weird about the status as you being saying, and we've been trying to show people.
Yes.
That we make retrograde step backwards.
Of course.
And people are pretending and putting on their blinkers as if we're doing something. Right? You're talking at 2024, a police officer still not knows enough to stand up in front of a vehicle.
And him stand up in front of the vehicle when it a move.
Right? In 2024, a police officer that just leave training school don't know that enough is stand up in front of a vehicle when the man is behind the driver's seat. The first person if you make safe is yourself. Make him drive, go and go in business. You know, make out that you want to go back to your family. So you understand what I mean? So these are the little things that when we look at you know, and people come out and beat them chest or them a vexation and them a do all of them stuff. But the basics
thank you.
are being ignored.
Thank you.
How you treating people in the road in our roads, in our community, the basics is being ignored. Right?
So tell me something now, Inspector. Tell me something now. Are you a man, right? Maybe and you're a detective inspector when you're a role. All right. So this now, how this fit them man? Me know say them did I get call and the commander for the place and them not answer him phone. Me know that. And him that get a tick down and some other one where them not answer them phone. And them the return call. Me know. See? Because them go and tuck up in a film place and him in a down there, you know. Man drive going a place and him block them in and say, them have to wait till me I come out because them take him spot where him supposed to park. When him ready, at the police parking and spotting and him block it. Go in him office and him go talk to who, you know. And them behavior, they not work. It's like a behavior like a super dog instead of police. You know, talk to the foot soldier, then you just do what you want to. And people are complaining about him in a Clarendon, film behavior. No.
So who that way?
Now they all right. You see the one that were overlook it now. You remember the one with them poison? Them say him better, you know. You know the one with them poison where they run down there. All right, the one where they don't know. I be a foolish to see my going away. Him know himself, and we just call him and say the one with them poison. You know I wish one that too, right? You know the one with them, yes. So the one that take over, the one with down there now, I go on with him bag of foolishness. We know some get call him not answer, if him answer maybe them file this. Right? Mr. the Prime Minister 2 weeks ago, I go to the one with name Brooks. And he must say, yes, sir, and we cut on 50%, you make the people them feel too comfortable. Remember, you know, why the Prime Minister do that, you know? Because America still go push out the travel advisory, yeah? Yeah, and say, no, don't even stop in a Clarendon. Yeah?
So you force the commissioner to come talk about statistics every day, so you try to prove that Jamaica safe.
Yes. So him going to swoop no, he might break protocol. You never see nobody do that. And him God and yes, sure, yeah, you're honorable Prime Minister. That's a dictator country, you can't do that.
We matter about crime and him know all of you that feel like him as a career police officer.
Let me tell you.
The crime trends and
Brother.
The gang them is a generational gang. How brief, you can imagine, is a prime minister in my commission.
That is the number one, no. And these are the things better than them. When I say my command is everything, right?
It can't be declaration time. You understand? What we don't understand, we're confused.
So you know police, to be police. And I tell you this, no, him want to get something with them right out and give him, and then him come and we know this. Him for us to the briefing and what have you, and the police do them job. Him not supposed to know this, but him want to be in the spotlight and the PR. I mean, I say PR now, because I'm show him some other things, you know. When him might say no, I hear some people talk to him and him run. But we want them youth to push out, you know, because that is the end in crack. Although over the next side, I think 5 people are dead. So you see what no, when you have a reprisal. You know, them I want to come back with some blood in them eye. You see it? You see why we need truth and reconciliation and people not get misstep? Yeah?
Keep on being reactive instead of proactive.
Thank you. Thank you. You understand? Because you hear some people dead over there, so. And some people are mourning. They might come back maybe 100-fold them a look. And now him gone and leave from death and say a terrorism. That means a political thing or an ideological thing or something. That is stupidness. This is not Palestine and Israel. You know, like what the man, you understand what I say? Yeah. But you see these things, you don't know why it can't be terrorism. I mean, I come with different things, brother.
We know why I keep on warning you about this terror. You hear them using the rhetoric of terror.
Then stop it, man.
Once they get, they're going to try to do legislation or approach it a particular way.
Yeah.
We see how JCF, we see how the government when they move upon the communities. Right? Them not care who is there. So if them get terrorism and not call people as terrorists, you can imagine the realm how them are going to deal with these youths.
I mean, when you have to do that far.
Rehabilitation field, there's no jobs. There's some of them, there's no home. Right? You can't eat it. You know, and these are the things where I expect a commissioner to come out and say, right? And be just be realistic with the people, right? And that is what we need. You need to be real. You understand? The whole of Jamaica, you have to, most of the man, them after them retire, them left the country. Right? The opportunity to serve at the highest echelon of the force where they could have made changes. And if you speak to some of them,
yes.
And I implore you to try to get some of them to come and really have a conversation. Let me tell us that put them in the changes. Let me tell us that even a commissioner of police that tell me not a commissioner, but an ACP. I tell us, listen, team rank smart. We don't know how you get that, but when you speak to them, you would get this sense that they're shackled, can't make a change. So you wonder what was really happening and who is really leading, the country or these organizations. So again, as I said, we normally get names, when once a suspect or a person of interest is known, the name is revealed. There is no so much so that we have issues with them when them name person of interest and then get the wrong person. Right? We don't want a lot of them dead in the past to show you how names would have been revealed.
But tell me something now. Because I remember say anyway, you see jobs and the money they even cause more me in the country more than anything else. And it put your country to get blacklisted. And as him said, the terrorists with enterprise because of for the big building we're going up. Are the big boys them and them at we never call them terrorists.
Right.
Yeah?
Why you not call these people terrorism? Because again, when you where's the money going? What is the money?
Yeah.
They're not just building buildings, brother. If they were just building buildings in the amount of money, drug money moved through Jamaica. If they were just building buildings, oh God, we're full of skyrise buildings in Jamaica hotels. So evidently the money is going somewhere else.
Yes.
Right? And we don't know where the money is funding. Most of them, a lot of people not even know that these monies fund wars.
That is it.
Right? So you notice them, you notice how them just one-sided.
Yes.
How quiet you are, such a big boss is made in Jamaica.
And nothing.
Nothing at
and
all.
a big man dead. I tell me about him now. We say him a cooperate with the DEA. You know. Can him take up some money from him in 2030? Yeah. And you remember upon somewhere in a New Kingston have a hotel. Can have money, you know. See? But in a thing, I know them just for killing. And you know, you're not. Yes.
Put all of us up, you know.
Yes, all of a sudden.
Yes.
Yes. All of a sudden. So them man they rich. And then we look now, them just got eliminate him. Yeah, and you know, you're not no. You know, when you hear the big drug boss, I think the Prime Minister come out and congratulate the police and say yes. And next big now make it look bad him silent to backside. Every one of the big drug boss.
Yeah, like I know about state, everybody was quiet. You mentioned something last night where I said, and the same topic where I said normally which other state ministers you don't normally hear come out, all of the mouthpieces they will love talk.
Yeah.
You know, come out and support the police, a good job, and this is the direction we want it. No, everybody's silent, like they want to pursue the police and like I want to watch other. You don't get that feeling as if, you know, you do something wrong as an organization.
Yes.
You know.
And then
so these names, who are you protecting them from? You know, again, I am asked as a law enforcement, somebody that I've served, who are you protecting them from? Because if the state is the most powerful thing,
yes.
You know, who else can do them harm? Like, I don't understand. Do we need the United States to come and get them because you can't protect them? And if that is the case, we'd have had cases like this. Let us carry them go to JDF. If it's one of them sensitive matter then. Right? You know. But you know, when they look at the whole playing field of what going on in Jamaica now, there's a lot of things happening, you know. There's a lot of stuff happening and it's all trending. It's not foot soldiers, the day-to-day man, them, as we said. Right? It's these managers, these people that are in these institutions for plus 30 years, don't want to go nowhere. You understand? Align themselves with a different type of network. You know. You go into all of the big parties, them like what we say, Shrek up. That is how they move, the big boys club, you know. And they wash up their hands. And they're untouchables. There's nobody investigating them. You can kill somebody in their house. And up to today, nobody can say nothing about the face. You know?
But more than one of these cases now, billions of dollars. They've gone over more than $50 billion worth of jobs from 2000. And before that, they've gone more than that. Because three big boss. I never talk about the one where the man them pay money, that's the next four. The four big boss they are $28 billion. With ease. 12 and 12. No, 30 billion. 12 and 12, 24 plus 4, 28 plus that next big boss there. 30 billion with ease. Four boss alone. And them gone more than that. Billion with a B. And a little bit of money about that thing that man. That's some big boys, man. And no word no come out, brother. From none of them. From the crab and nobody.
Well, and I would push it to say, you know, from an investigative perspective, I would want to say that I think some of these the drug and organized crime or financial crime.
Of course.
Meaningful and easier to track than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Because if you really follow the money, which it is taught in JCF, because you know just born with that knowledge. If you really follow the money and do what you need to do as an investigator, then there's no issue in doing these investigations. The willpower and political will is not there. And somewhere along the line, just like how you hear the man let's say none of the book, and we have these conversations and when a research piece with the investigation, the fact is being asked for, right? It's something there, something is amiss when it comes to these career 30-years that has been in the institution for a long period of time, looking to go home and probably not have enough money. You really start wondering, because look what happened to the DPP. You know, she should even fight right now based on the vice cartel matter, because you feel miserable and the blood that was yours. Right? You shouldn't even have a talk. You should just bow gracefully and go about your business. But you just have to take that hit. Right? Because you left out walking the loophole.
Let me ask you something.
Yes, sir.
When all right, so like you deal with one of them big cases. You as an inspector, as a detective inspector. And you deal with one of them big cases. You tell me say you have people like up there, so like the commissioner class to call you and take the file from you.
Right. I mean, they're gonna play it very close. When they're doing a case like that,
yes,
it's gonna be played very close. You're gonna be having a lot of meetings, you know, with the commissioner, right? With DCP, he more probably if you tell us more like say you're the DCP where I say you want blow by blow commentary. That means every time you do so, I need to know. Right? So again, it's a sensitive matter, you know, and them kind of them say it's a high profile matter. Even the 17 shooting is gonna be done in that way. Right? Where the commissioner wants to know every move and make every time, every stone unturned more and more. A blow by blow commentary, and then that will pass up to, I guess, the Minister of National Security and then to the Prime Minister.
Yes.
But yes, if him deem say you can't use any class, you can't deem say now work hard enough on it, or more if you keep a more seasoned investigator, or whatever the thing, you can't take the file and give to somebody else.
Well, so him can really take the file, and you start the case and know the case.
He's the chief. The DCP crime would be the chief investigator.
Yes.
And then he file any file. And that is why people understand why more can come in. So you understand why we needed a body that nobody can play with. But then they play around with it and make the Minister of National Security know everything. It should have been an independent body. Right? Because the commissioner is the chief constable and he can't say no man, I'm reassigning the case to this to wait instead of you. Right? Because probably again, you see it seeps in, corruption can seep in, and nobody's saying that is what is happening. I'm just saying stuff like that. That loophole make a man can make a call and a man can say XYZ. And a lot of these big boys are corrupted.
I know.
And they're there a lot. Because if I'm a drug dealer, right? I'm a granddad drug dealer, big time drug dealer. I don't want to know an inspector. I want to know assistant commissioner of police.
Yes. So up there, so them want to go. That's why them so corrupted.
Yeah. Come on, man.
We know that, man. We just have to tell it to the people there.
One time, when Sarge used to wheel a lot of power.
Yeah, because Sarge used to have him. Me notice it also soup now the power right now.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So they're in the streets, they know exactly where I'm going. So you want to go as close to the commissioners, and then a man did 30 odd years, someone did 20 odd years. Like Mr. Blake, whether how much years, 15 years, them something that. Somebody at some point in time, I will just check your bank account. And bank account probably now translate to him salary. Probably way past him when I get. And when they ask him the question, I mean, if you ask the past commission, I'm going to tell the same security company and then the real estate. You understand that?
Yes.
You know, when they leave, the first thing and do a shipper marijuana. So the intent was there all along. You know. But these are the things where people have to come out and talk, and officers on the ground have to know that you have to watch the man above you.
And that to spec. You know, oh, you be a commissioner of police, lock up how much people, see over these things, people go to prison for the marijuana. But you first push yourself up to export the first in our history. Right. You know, marijuana. Yeah? That alone tell you, of course. Because I not smoke and drink, you know, so why am I going to push marijuana when I not smoke? I'm not going to look for marijuana. I'm not going to look for alcohol back and anything. No, not me. See? Yes.
Like that your stance over the years, and if you have that stand over the years as a big man, and you leave an institution, having been the leader, overseer, and lock up, as you say, a lot of prosecute a lot of people for the same thing over the years.
Yes.
And you would have put your name of being one of the first man to export such a thing. Whether illegal or not, you would have to be stuck in every way and said, no, I'm not doing that. It's just like you just left for you like a one around the corner, you might be the same thing. You know, it's just media opposite.
So never go and play this out with the people that here. And then remember talk back to you, yeah? Respect, fair. Yeah. So people, remember just remind Holness, because I'm gonna say some things now. You know, like him want to do something, but like the opposition are fight him, you know, for have him own way now and deal with the crime. But remember, you know, I'm play something and then remember play them at first. And then I could listen when I say pan crime. So I could hear him when we're in opposition. Yeah.
Does not hear about your health. I hear the spirit of a little baby crying, saying, why did the people keep the Labour Party government in? If the Labour Party government was in, I would still be alive. I hear the spirit of the babies that have died because of you.
So, in politicized crime, me not ask. Look at it.
Whenever the PNP is in power, crime gets worse.
Remember, you know, the 4 and that 11 killing you never happened in the history of Jamaica, you know. But anyway, remember just call it.
That we don't have to ask no question about. Whenever the PNP is in power, crime gets worse. And we have to ask ourselves, why is that? Why is that? Why is that? Why is it that whenever the PNP is in power, the crime don't get higher? But the nature of the crime becomes more gruesome. Cutting off people's head, shooting pregnant women, invading houses and killing entire families. And then the latest thing now, kill a baby, and then the girl decides to retaliate to kill another baby.
Not married. So I know about gang-related thing and thing, right? Yeah.
And them to have no plan to fix it. No plan. I hear them attack. Them to have no plan to fix it.
Whenever the PNP is in power, murder rises. Whenever the PNP is in power, crime rises. And I keep telling people that you have a greater chance of being murdered in Jamaica than by being hit by a car. We can't live like that in our own country. So the Labour Party makes another commitment to you. Unlike the PNP, who say nothing can be done about crime, the Labour Party don't share that. We believe that there is a lot that we can do to solve crime in this country. There is a lot that we can do to bring down murders in this country. There is a lot that we can do to make you safer in your house and in public spaces.
So it happened, people. Yeah. So politicize these things. I don't tell you not, you must take it and make the political nothing. You see it?
Leader used his tour to launch an assault on the government's fight against crime. Mr. Holness and opposition MP Desmond McKenzie were in the community today. Andre Jebinson reports.
The man in charge of the security portfolio, Peter Bunting, had a tour on Sunday, and Mr. Bunting, who receives the crime figures daily, insists there is no increase in major crimes. But opposition leader Andrew Holness has his own view on Friday night's shooting in Seaview Gardens.
It is an example of the growing level of criminal activity within Jamaica. Crime is once again rearing its ugly head, and it is really a cause for great concern.
Mr. Holness said the mothers feel let down by the government.
The government has a role to play.
More to not listen, but I will finish playing. You said the mother feel let down by the government when you get shot in a down there. So hear this.
The government has a duty to secure and provide security for the people of this country.
Okay.
And I think in talking to that mother, it was clear to me that she felt that the government had abdicated its role in providing security.
Mr. Holness said the opposition will be holding the government accountable for its role in controlling crime.
We had managed to bring down the murder rate 3 or 4 years ago. Now it is climbing. We are concerned. We are very worried. And our visit here today is to give the people of Seaview Gardens, but Jamaica in general, the assurance that the opposition is speaking out firmly against crime.
Not only that, Mr. Holness wants the entire country to send a message.
All well-thinking Jamaicans should raise their voice in concert against the high levels of crime and against the government in not doing enough in controlling crime.
Remember that, right? Him said. And then remember play the next one and then we're going to finish listening now. So here when it's about crime, we hold them accountable, you know, in the government. And that's what I do right now, you know. We just remind him. So when you do these things, now you have some people who say, boy, he might that, you know, because of the prime minister. No, we are all government accountable. Only since tell them to do this. Remember in the opposition.
The plans and the cost. I have given instructions that the high security facility with a communications dead spot be built. We will have a prison with a communication dead spot that we can put our high valued criminals in terms, they are not high value, they are no value. But our high risk criminals, we can put them in facilities where they cannot influence crime and murders.
Last week, the Prime Minister declared several states of emergency across 10 police divisions.
So, him said these things. Not my word. The Prime Minister said these things. But I'm playing back now. Now I finish here in press briefing. Somebody does some of the show the figures. The murder figures from when? From then till now? Murder figures, all right, murder figures. All right, let me show the murder figures. Somebody just talk, let me show the murder figures. From them till now, right? These are two, all right. Let me just show that one. Then want me show the murder figures, yeah? Yes, all right. Let me show this. See this. Show the murder figures and then we just come back to what we leave after that. Murder figures. All right. Statistic.
One with the ear them and all the murder climb. You know, we are going right down back and we can just go back on the ear them.
I'm 62, my going back, yeah?
And we start from I get independence with that 62 murder. And 63 right 70. 64, 70, 65, 65, 66, 111.
Murder figures there now.
67,
102, 68, 110. What's in over there? 68, 69, 153, 70, 152. Continue. 71, 145. My next page. 71, 145. Let's watch them, man. 72, 188. 73, 2, 32. 74, 1, 95. 75, 2, 66. 76, 3, 67. 77, 4, 09. 78, 3, 89. Somebody said I want to do a years at the terrible years, them, right? Alright. So we're going on 79, 3, 5, 1. The 80, the general election. So you come back, so you go in first time, it was 8, 89. General election 80. 81, 4, 90. That's 81. But let's do the whole statistic for some people, because they know, you know, the year 82, 405, 83, 4, you know, go down back money 3, and this, I'm not see that. 424, 84, 4, 484, 85, 434, 86, 449, 87, 442, 88, 414. So it declined, but it don't reach. Let's see when you go back down. 89, 439, 90, 5, 42, 91, 546. 91. With that bar, but it could go back down. I can't carry that. 90, okay, let me say it. 92, 6, 29, 93, 6, 54, 94, 6, 90, 95, 7, 18, 96, 9, 25, 97, 1,000, got 1,000 for the first time, you know, 97. And 38, 98, you go back at 9, 53, 98 to get them thing there, alright. Me get 99 this take a while. Me get 99, me get 99. I look at 99. I forget 99. Come go back on this one. Come say 98. Okay, it's 99 now. I go back at 8, 49. 2000, you go at 8, 87. 2001, 1,139. 2001. Okay. So, I watch it there, so. 2002, 1,045. 2003, 976. 2004, 1,471. 2005, 1,674. All right, that was the highest murder rate, right? Yes, sir. In the East of Jamaica, right? What? That are under PJ. What? 2005. 2006, Columbia, 1,340. It's a boost. Boost coming early, you know. In a 2207, right? It's 2007, it come up back now 1,580. So that's drop the second highest when you chip in, right? 1,580 yard. You see it? All right. 80 much that? 84.
2008 it go 1,619. So in a 2005, 2000 that 1,619 that I wanted us to look over that. So you got in that 2009 or to keep up there so 2 years straight.
All right, look on 2008, 16 odd. So that it might be the second and the third because this are 1619, that are 1674. But look on him, so Bruce still not good Angela the writer so. Look on 2009, that are the highest in the history of Jamaica right now. 1,683. No high like that. So that the first. Yeah? So next one 600 Bruce and so next one over time you go down in the encourage and see that.
All right, so 2007 go, there's a 2008 or 1,600. 2009, 1,689. 83. So 2009 and 1,683. So it's higher than 2005. 2009. Then it cut down 2010 1,447. 2011. Me know which government I run through 1,133.
I'm going to show this and then finish a thing there. So when you talk about the crime and them thing there, because I don't could have carried on crime. I will forward it to your account, brother. We no business, we forward it to your account. See that?
Run it again now. 2012, it got on.
You know, a Porsche come in 2012. So that's a Porsche. You see that? Look on the score. Just set the whole of the score, the 2012 to 2015. 2016, February, I think them come in. So you know the whole of that after them. January, February. So 2016 after them. So see there? 1,102. And him add this when him up as I think in Jamaica, you know, this 1,208. I make him say, you know, the 1,208 there. Make him say, I'll think in Jamaican for raising them vice in council. So 2013, the people 1,202. 2014, it go down to 1,005. And him said that I make us the part
1,102. 2013, 1,202. 2014, 1,005.
You see that?
State of emergency, not like that. 2015, it got 1,200. This is when, you know, you know, sleep at the open, murder and up too much. 2016 now, it got 1,354. 2017, it go back at 1,647.
That's the third highest murder rate in a Jamaica history. Third highest. The first abuse. The second and the 2005 and Patterson. The third at him. The fourth abuse again. Then it come back to him again. Set a box for nothing from post a thing to reach a person. I know I'm not dropping it at 1,000, 2,000 and 2,000. I know I'm not dropping it at 1,200 and even 70 enough to beat the highest from post scoring. See that?
2018, it there 1,200, it go down 1,200.
That lowest him ever go. And look on post one, it higher, post highest. The lowest film lowest are like 70 and over it. 79.
87. Then it climbed 2019, 1,339. 2020, 1,323.
See that?
Right? But we see this now.
So everything you saw that post one. Yes.
So let me see this. Let me see this.
Him lie man.
Alright, so 2000, let me say 21 now, 22. Alright, so more to 22.
That's 2012 in an appeal thing.
22 there. I'm going to see 22. What am I rub it out?
What, 2012?
No, 21 and 22.
So and then it gone up back, you know, it go 1,500 and 1,400 and it keep up there. So remember just moving back from here, so. I mean, play the other one and show you everything I. Last year, them upvised it to 1,513. Yeah, in a when so last year when so them I tell you something a year before last. So everything I 1,400 and 1,500 and half. You understand? All right, I could finish. See where I'm at around here, so. I could finish here where I blame. I could finish here where I blame the opposition now. Let me finish here now. Yeah. Me hold him to him word and tell me to do this, so I'm in a business. I just tell me there. I could hear him say now.
They parade as if they are in the community to protect you, but no, that's not what they're there for. They are there to use your community as cover to carry out illegal activities and to make profit from it. They are there to organize violence. I want you to think carefully on what happened yesterday, last night.
So what do you mean by they are there to organize violence? If them people born and grow up, them youth they attack, them born and grow up with them mother, them father, them sister, them brother, them cousin, them friend. What do you mean by they are there like them are different, like them are alien to our no, help lead them astray. Enough big boy buy them the gun, them and give them what them a boss. Yeah, and program them. They mean by they are there and them not here to this and that. What must say?
Someone had to acquire a vehicle.
Look how that sounds thing now. So then you have vehicle, someone have to. You acquire a vehicle. The man them pass on the gun and you acquire your gun long time and the youth them have the gun there. So yeah, we must say we not come with you, man. Yeah.
Someone had to acquire high-powered weapons and the ammunition.
Yeah, and the ammunition. What is?
Someone had to plan whether it is to gather the intelligence that an event was.
That is not an intelligence. An event are advertised. Oh, you get an intelligence, an event are keep. Oh, so stop are keep. And you get an intelligence. Say event are keep. Oh, that's be intelligent. You don't get an intelligence from that. Use them advertise or them put up a so them keep something. I say, get an intelligent pan them thing there. Them thing that will put public that people can come and support. You know it are keep. So if it's there, and people there, you drive past and look much people pass, you have to get an intelligent on that. If it's a car and them have a bar and it open every Saturday and keep music, where you get an intelligent pan? Don't shop open. Don't wholesale open. Get an intelligent to do what? To keep something in the public. The man attack like him a police, I'm not a police and attack foolish shit. And just stop it, man. Stop it, brother. Just stop it, man.
Being kept, someone was probably there as a lookout.
Yeah, there. Somebody probably be there as a lookout. No, they're not for there. Them know, them drive past and know so them keep the thing on them ear. Because most of the time them have fun, them have to get no intelligence and no. So them just say, right, we're going to mash up this. Yeah? Yeah.
Someone had to probably call in others to come in who could do the shooting.
You know, calling others. So hear this. So the shooter, them tell him something, them whisper something and tell him, say, the youth them come from bank over Gregory Park. Remember just tell him, say, like he must say them calling others to do the shooting. Yes. You understand? Because when it happen up there, say them people, say them lose people, say them have people, say them just trying people. So I am them probably calling others. Them are telling him. Barely them are telling him, say them, yeah, you understand?
This was coordinated.
Yeah.
So this is what we call organized armed violence.
It never reprisal killing. Them just want to do back something and do it on a better scale, a bigger scale, a wickeder scale. So them does any killing a same killing. Yeah. So if them come kill 12 people, but them kill them two, it not look bad. But they kill them now one, you say it look bad. Them a kill them a war. Reprisal want to stop it.
And this level of planned, organized, armed violence must be addressed unequivocally. It is not a problem affecting Jamaica alone. It is becoming a feature right across the Caribbean. And
So okay. So yeah, so this is not a problem for do Jamaica alone, but you know, talk about the billions of dollars worth of coke. What you say? So that is not a problem. It affects the world. The coke, me sure it's 20,000. Almost 30,000 now we kill overdose every year. No, that's them people who are dead. But you should address them in a two. That and the coke, them the amount of coke there, and the amount of money. We are dirty money.
Central America, and indeed in Latin America,
Yeah.
generally, and even in North America.
Not some I blame that, but you not blame the coke. You can't have it two-way, boy, I know. Yeah, deal with the youth, them deal with the coke. It a cause a lot of things. Deal with it.
So we cannot allow this incident to be treated merely as another criminal act. It is not merely a criminal act. Organized armed violence is an act of terror.
Man, stop that foolishness. Organized violence is an act of terror. When you know, say it's a thing there, reprise that. Act of terror mean if in a political, you know, you have different idea of religion and everything and thinking, and a man enforce things on you, so you know it already. You go look for terrorism. You understand? But organized is an act of terror. And you so far gone? Continue.
And we must treat them as criminal terrorists.
When say for the treat, so you know, brother. We want them you do, you know. Mark the word, but want them. But we now follow your word where you come and this terror. You want catch this bully them. We are born that, you know. We are born it. When we make the police them, the police in. You shouldn't even in that time you hear and you don't see what the police them do what and you do and you get a brief or something. No. You take it over here, the commissioner too.
So the security forces have been given the direction.
Have been given.
Operations are already underway.
So them have to give the security force and security force citizens let me know what to do. So they have to wait till the Prime Minister to come give them a direction. They're not supposed to, you know, this. They're supposed to move and deal with what going on in Jamaica. Yes, what going on?
From all levels, intelligence, from the kinetic operations in the field, to seeking the support of our partners to get those who are overseas, who are facilitating and directing and funding the criminal operations.
So we're not doing it for the cocaine, brother. What kill much people in North America? Uncle Sam, that's just not do thing. He meant the man silent, you know. He man the club and one of them silent and do much ton of cocaine. And try and bungle them up in a one now. And here we talk, we know say come out this morning. You hear him? Eh? All right.
Here, no stone will be left unturned.
But the cocaine, every stone leave untouched.
I want to give the Jamaican people the reassurance that your government will use this as the opportunity to deal with the gangs once and for all.
Yeah, where am I do? Same come phone the son and said them a gang member when who figure fight now go for them, you know. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, PM, and thank you to all of the members of the NSC that spoke. And we're going to go directly now to some questions from the media, and Naomi Francis will be leading us through that segment. Thank you.
So once again, we ask the members of the media to please identify yourselves, preferably one question so we don't have too many compound questions, and we'll be able to go through as efficiently as possible.
Good morning, Kimone Francis from the Gleaner. Prime Minister, in December 2022, you told the nation that a list was given to Washington of criminals. What are the fruits of that, or what have been the fruits of that decision?
Remember the list, them to 30 people. I bet them come out of something else. Look here.
Yes, I made 2 trips to Washington where I met with the Department of Justice, and we have provided those lists, 31 names, I believe, and they are.
You tell me 30, sir. Me go play it back. You tell me 30 names. You got 31 now. Okay.
Are still under, well, I don't want to say too much, but the cooperation with our partners continue. And as I said, I have to be very careful what information I give, but certainly the cooperation continues with the Department of Justice and indeed with all the other agencies. By the way, when we visited the Department of Justice, we met with several entities in law enforcement in the United
Law enforcement department, you must have that.
States, and our cooperation continues with them, which is why I've said that in this particular instance, where we know that there are connections overseas, we will be pursuing it, given the channels that we have opened with our cooperation with our overseas partners.
Next question.
Good morning, Alyssa Willis from The Observer. PM, just yesterday or today, we reported on the efforts as it relates to prosecution of individuals who facilitate the introduction of prohibited items behind bars, so the cellular phone devices. It was mentioned this morning that there was activity from behind bars linked to this particular incident. I just wanted to know, you did say that you would be addressing it at all levels, but as it relates to the participation of whether correctional officers or so on in getting these prohibited items into the hands of inmates, what will be the focus there?
Well, there are two issues here. One is legislative. We made an amendment to the law. My recollection, I believe it would have been Minister Chang, if you could give us an explanation on that. I think we made an amendment to the legislation. There is a new legislation being drafted for the Corrections Act, which will incorporate the whole business of how contraband is treated with. But from an operational standpoint, as I've said, all dimensions of this incident is being reviewed. So the persons who pulled the trigger, to everyone who facilitated, to everyone who is presently hiding, and everyone who knows where they are and do not communicate it to us, you become implicated in the stream of facilitation of this crime.
No, we talk about to everyone and to everyone. You like everybody can just see somebody and come talk, you know them are dead. You have to ask for mass murder. I'll be a police is a talk, better stop it, no man. You must people know things and them not talk because you go to a police, you might connect this and then when you people them dead off, man. Eh? And everybody busy about wagwan, man. They were trying to protect themselves and their family.
So let me take this opportunity, therefore, to ask the public for their cooperation. If you know anything, please tell us. If you have any information, even if you believe it's of no use, please let us know. And for those persons who may think that they are safe in hiding these persons who have committed the crime, you are mistaken.
Yeah. Minister, you want to say something? Yeah. The act was amended in 2021 to ensure that we can more severe penalties for those who breach the act and take banned goods into the prisons. Work is being done to strengthen various activity. In fact, we have just concluded a contract to introduce the camera system and more extensive system in the correctional system.
Some people, they were them just say the contract and camera system. Another 2022, them tell me, some of them just pay, I couldn't hear it. The man say, I be that state-of-the-art prison. I'm going to hear it back again. So they talk about camera system. They talk about camera system 2022. Where am I go with these things? Eh? Where am I go with these things? Yeah. Hear this. Hear the prison.
Government does not.
More at the prison more here. Hold on there. At the prison more here for here. The prison where them are built. The one there. The one there. Let me see that one.
And Mr. Holness insists.
Analyze the plans and the cost. I have given instructions that the high security facility with a communications dead spot be built. We will have a prison with a communication dead spot that we can put our high valued criminals in terms, they're not high value, they're no value, but our high risk criminals, we can put them in facilities where they cannot influence crime and murders.
Last week.
So into this time now, November 2022. He said not him give instruction about build the prison. When they get it. So that one now come and attack say that one. Blame there, that one now. When come and attack him can away here. Blame there. See me? Yeah. Or him come and attack you now. Push him up back. Push him up back. The clear way I say after the while. You know, when just talk about the while. Yeah.
And to build out the intelligence service within there. The work is proceeding. We have a new director of corrections who has extensive experience in security area, and they're working with the entire corrections service to, in fact, strengthen our intelligence product from the area, as well as, you know, and apply the law as required.
That's it.
Williams from Television Jamaica. I'm sure ACP Bailey will be able to speak to this in regards to DCP, sorry, in regards to whether or not, I know it's early days, a motive or the intended target has been established as yet. And also we tend to shy away from the term mass murder. Would you say this is in fact a mass murder?
It's a mass murder, but in our state here now.
If I may, I will answer the last question. We believe it's an act of terror.
It's not an act of terror. Stop talking all these kind of things, man. See? Myself when I ask this. Yes. This is not an act of terror. He believes it's an act of terror. And we are saying not an act of terror. You hear him? Act of terror. You care about this. Yeah.
Prime Minister made reference to criminal terrorism, and we believe that is an act of...
About criminal terrorism, I mean that, man. Come on, like goddamn disgrace. The coke in the narco terror. It's still a narco terror.
We have established some motives. We believe that it is gang-related.
The people, if something gang-related, or turn a terror now. Eh? Yeah.
Reprisal for the death of someone who...
So, a reprisal turn a act terror. Me tell you, take people for that, man. You thought how this turn act of terror? How a reprisal turn act of terror? You know, you knock up some people and what people did over there, some and they are coming in one a big amount and you say, well, and if you not stop it, maybe I might go there go mash up the whole place again and next man come back. Too much of people are dead. Him turn it in an act of terror. Yeah? Just to put the word what terror mean. Him gonna put in a political kind of like scene or something. This wrong. See? Yeah.
We tend to shy away from the term mass murder. Would you say this is in fact a mass murder?
If I may, I will answer the last question. We believe it's an act of terror. The Prime Minister made reference to criminal terrorism.
Foolishness.
We believe that is an act of terror. We have established some motives. We believe that it is gang-related, reprisal for the death of someone who was killed in Clarendon, but I don't want to get into too much.
So if people, you hear it out of the horse's mouth himself, and you still him and just pay like of terror, it's a reprisal. So no, it matter look how we have a vex about it. But remember, other people dead over there, so around 5 of them, you know. So them come back now with that kind of little thing. We need truth and reconciliation. But I tell the youth them how to do this now. Come on. Go back for the youth them how to do or not do, but you can't just kill people. So come on back about that. But the truth is that it's a reprisal killing. Yeah. And reprisal killing and I'm not work after man.
You know, and apply the law as required.
Now move out of my way in a crowd.
For the death of someone who was. We have established some motives. We believe that it is gang-related, reprisal for the death of someone who was killed in Clarendon, but I don't want to get into too much detail in respect of that, but we have established motives.
So them established motive, but them tell people it's act of terror. Eh?
I think you might also want to make an appeal to those persons. I was encouraging DCP to make an appeal to those persons who may want to take matters into their own hands, who may want to go out and on their own seek reprisals. If you do that, you then become of interest to us, and you are a part of the problem and not the solution. Leave these matters to the security forces to address. They will be addressed swiftly and by the law. As I pointed out, the last time I described an act as an act of terror was the killing in St. James in Salt Spring, when this criminal shot up a public passenger transport, killed 3 persons, including 2 innocent children. And at that point, I committed that we would move all.
Everybody I give the guy will do it because him too something I go on and go shoot the taxi man and I catch a picture them. Yeah? Somebody that push him out because them know him. Yes.
The resources to finding the perpetrator.
You'll not find him because people want him. You're killing innocent Jews.
Within weeks, we did. And I'm not giving myself weeks. I've said to the DCP Bailey that we must start to see results very soon.
Yeah, there.
Sir, next question. Good morning, Natalie Campbell of Area FM. How much can the police say now about how many gangs are involved and which gangs, as if can you name them at this point? Or name them at this
I
point?
would, on behalf of DCP Bailey, say we will not give out any information as to which gang and how many. What I will say is that on behalf of DCP, just quickly, that our activities as it relates to treating with gangs has been very successful. We had on our books, DCP, remind me, we had about almost 380 gangs, active gangs.
And you're supposed to talk when the DCP talk. Not to them, man. Yeah, man.
Over the last 2 years, we have eroded that down to about 250 gangs now. So
people lie, them not telling them. Them just calling about their gang. Tell them. So you would say 300 how much, 400 and then go up to 200. So you would see them kind of people are going to prison. You hear about them? No one gang we see in the paper run, yeah?
Our actions have been yielding results.
Lie, man.
This incident runs against the trend of what we have been doing. But what it shows is that even as we are degrading the gangs, that the ability for gangs to organize and arm themselves and produce violence that goes beyond the victim to affect a nation, that capability still exists, and therefore we must intensify our operational intelligence and strategic stance to further erode and eliminate gangs from our society.
Eliminate gang. If you eliminate the big boy, but you talk better, you don't need to talk foolishness.
Good morning, Prime Minister. Ricardo Brooks, Nationwide News. Hear you on the short term operational measures that will be pursued. But over the long term, what has happened to the enhanced security measures bill that was supposed to be brought to Parliament? Has your administration abandoned that? And you've used the word terror and terrorism frequently this morning. Do you think it may be now time for you to codify in legislation that these people who commit these kinds of crimes should be labeled or designated domestic terrorists?
Man, you for fuck off too, man. So yeah, big mama, but I be a shit them talking, this not your cars, man, the terrorists, man. Or if you call about domestic terrorists, when I reprisal, you know, and like somebody unprovoked, and them go there and them a try to do some little things that you know what them a do because them believe in a different thing and them not believe in the Christianity, and them not believe in a this and that. This is not nothing but doing no terrorism. It's a shit.
And give the security forces special powers to treat with them.
Yeah, this. Them a tell them in front of we for just go around and kill people, pitney. Can you cannot label anybody? Me attack and them not like how me talk them say loan some terrorists, you know. You understand? But we get someone at the egg. Una fucked up now to man. Stop the fuck you, man. This not going nowhere. The last time you hear Adams and all kind of things. These are the people who must have helped us up the country. Go clean up the place with the coke and all kind of fuck you are going down there. Piece of shit them, man.
For those questions, Ricardo. Firstly, my response here is not short term, though it is immediate. This will be the operational and strategic stance of the JCF, the JDF, MOCA, and all our other intelligence modalities going forward. What I have declared here is a total assault on gangs in Jamaica.
Total assault on gangs in Jamaica. You hear this? Now clean up in constituency and now to you know.
I want that to be clearly understood. Operationally, they must go after every gang in Jamaica.
Yeah.
The gangs that have been...
Every gang. So if the man them label as a gang, you know, so them just come for you, hey, if you know what I'm saying. You know? Yeah. Yeah. So if you know what I'm saying, you hear what I'm doing? Label people, so little later them just can go come for you, kill you and say you're part of a gang. He might go after a gang. And he's not going for the right gang, them, you know. Yeah. Yeah, total assault, you know. Eh? Say the man I want to wreck the nation and kill our people, pitney. And all them doing the slavery and say you're part of the gang. Yeah? Nobody must put up to this. This is shit. Them what them attacking bullshit.
Been identified as being directly responsible for this action are connected with other gangs. And so we must pull the thread to where it leads. So today, every gang leader should take with themselves.
All that foolishness. Let me tell you something, but them not understand. Let me tell you something. When people hurt, you just say people must do reprisal. And when people hurt and them have the gun, what them do? Take with themselves, they think they might listen to you. If them rather dead and them know you have to kill them like this, then more people are dead. Remember my word, you know. Remember my word. Because when them come to do them revenge, and you stand up to them, we are them know. And you know, make them team up and threaten them like that, and then we have a 80 crisis. You idiot. I be a fuck with my chat, you know. You don't want that. Because them have the firepower. We want to talk to them. I make them know that I'm just them same one they push out the culprit, them want to do some fuckery. But when I talk, it's not make no sense. But take for yourself. Eh? The man have to stop him shit now, man. No make no sense.
In terms of what needs to be done, we obviously hit upon political resistance and a few snags.
So him a talk about political resistance now. Some I blame the opposition now. Yeah, this is what him do all the time. That's why I'm not stop on him. Yeah, you know.
As it relates to the change in the legislative environment, whether it is in the use of the SOEs, trying to get consensus as to what exceptional powers could be put in an enhanced security.
Let me tell you something. People, you have the power of a constable. Police, they never serve practical reassure. You don't need to change up nothing and about give them extra powers and take away your rights. No man do that. No man. No man. The police, when you give him a right there, so when they kill you now, them not stand for nothing at all. This is shit. Yeah. You understand? Yeah, man. I mean, I tell the sense of political here when I just play, but you just say what I play before. When every time the PNP in power, crime gone up, murder, and we can solve it, me just play it. And now, he might blame the opposition because they want to write something against the same youth, them where we are say, yo, we have to protect the youth. Something happened, send us to me get rid of them. Not for him picking them, you know. Not for him. But other people pick me. And then can just come for him and you give police some extraordinary powers, dictatorship powers. So when them come for you, you can't say them lock you up here a year. You have them do all kind of thing. Maybe I'll waterboard and them one little later. This is fuckery. Him tell him I'm gonna make you sleep with the window and door open and look on the fuckery him at about. Me know of this. People will reject this. This is fuckery. Yeah? You don't need the police, them don't need no more powers. Apart to where you want to start, man. That's what I talk about. Look here. Look here. The man for those start straight. Number one, you shouldn't even there start talk police. You can do them here. Look here. The meaning, look here. Look here. Look here. We could look at the meaning of the terrorism. Let me press this one. Look here. Well on there. Look here. Terrorism, you know. Use of violence against our non-combatant to achieve political or ideological aim. So somebody have for them aim like you are Christian and they are Muslim, or you are Muslim and they are Christian, or political, certain things them not agree, and then you know you find terrorism out of these kind of little things. Because they want stamp for them kind of little things. This not nothing to do with that. This have something to do with reprisal. Some people dead over there, so some man sister dead and you know people are family dead and them hurt and them again you reprise that. Come on now. Yeah? It's bad, man. This is the most of the craziest leader I have. I'll be a garbage man talk, you know, who pick up the angel man. And then him, remember in the police have the power to arrest the constable power, and then you have the court to deal with him. You might tell you take for yourself. In just rather just get up and set a bag of foolishness. And let me tell you, if a dog knows say you're trouble, him might bite you. And okay, you make the police them run out. Them have some of them go sleep and them play and them do everything. And if you do that and you start run down some people and them back against the wall, they will retaliate. You don't want that. You don't want to turn the place to 80. And then more than police, by the way. And the soldier combined. You can have 20,000 against. Maybe you put it up much, get to youth all over the place. And them start it and stop fight against someone of them and join up. Then we have a problem. Then we have a serious problem. You know, sometimes them not think still. Them don't think. Rehabilitate the youth them when they are prison when they come out. Have some training center for the youth then. You know, have some elder thing, make police to community policing and everything. You don't need them every need that kind of. And then you have file a lot of things because if you know if you deal with people them in the street, man I plan this somebody here and them gonna make a phone call and say, yo, them are go there and that and that and that. Why you stop here this thing? Yeah? Them have the will and then play political football with everything. And that may tell you we doing this. Some of the accountable. I have to. Dangerous guy. I have to. Can't let him go. Can't let him go to my side, you know. He may wreck the place. See me?
I believe we may have reached some level of understanding with the opposition. As we do this, we always bear in mind that Jamaica is a country where the rule of law is paramount and the protection of human rights will never be compromised. No matter.
You compromise it, you lie. The opposition have to carry your court for win you because you lock up some people and you look 2 years. For nothing at all, them lose them work, them lose them baby mother, them lose all kind of thing in a business. The people them use to make money along in St. James and thing. Remember, I call for enough for the youth them and get them out too, you know. Remember, I sit down and do a lot of things too, you know. Yes. People have to get a liar, a card, Cena man, or hold them and then a money run with the lie. Remember, you don't have nothing to do with court, you know. Then the senior man go get film cut and then them let you go. Go back to some other youth, do all kind of things, and then them turn around and sue the state. So if you never compromise them rights or them sue the state, brother, we are talking to make no sense. Because there is no way you that if you never compromise, them couldn't get to sue the state, brother. If you do everything in law. See, when I talk about bullshit.
That Jamaica is a country where the rule of law is paramount and the protection of human rights will never be compromised, no matter how hard we go at the criminal gangs.
Limatel. When you see it, Limatel.
The country can be assured that as a liberal democracy, as a country that believes in the freedom and the rights of its citizens, that this government will never do anything to.
The man do it. Hey, that's why you two line up. Hey, me tell you, I'm going to take him off. I'll take him off now, because when he said them not do nothing, remember, I know them go, you can Google it and you see the case of them lose. He said this government will never do nothing. This is dangerous. You do the thing and you say this government will never do anything to go do it. And you do it. Why them win a case, you got to show you say, you know, the state of emergency no longer. You can't do it like that. And when you do it, it's wrong. Why? And you say the government now, brother, come on, what government? Go on. Can't take no more of that, people. Yeah. No, I can't take no more of that, the man too lie, man. See? We want to clean up or we are clean up, but you can't have a prime minister that's recklessly. You want, you know, micromanage everything. Because that messy. Yeah, take over from the police, take over from this, talk all kind of little thing. You have to go outside. And say him not do it, but yet still don't know him do it. You see him get court action and the opposition win. And the man come at the same, him not do it, not all for compromise your human rights. Like I tell you. See? And the call on him use state of emergency. Just stop the lie, brother, and just think what you have to say. See? And we have to, I'll be a line tell. I remember in this area.
Hear about your heaven. I hear the spirit of a little baby crying, saying, why did the people keep the Labour Party government in? If the Labour Party government was in, I would still be alive. I hear the spirit of the baby that have died because of the.
You see it in play politics, we cannot play them in play politics in all of these things. So that time I have to hold them accountable. And him tell we to hold people accountable, yes, I do a portion of the lowest one Imam does. The lowest. But him said she never she have things higher and all kind of little things. Yeah. Him believe in him own lie, man. Yeah, love. Him believe in him own lies. And we are telling him surround yourself. You know, we are fact check you, we are fact check you. And we hear to the lies, we have to hold the lie. Hear this again. Hear this again. Yeah.
Whenever the PNP is in power, crime gets worse. That we don't have to ask no question about. Whenever the PNP is in power, crime gets worse. And we have to ask ourselves, why is that? Why is it that whenever the PNP is in power, the crime don't get higher?
Well, the most gruesome crime for them watch, you know. The most gruesome. You hear them kind of killing and all kind of thing appear quadruple murder, triple murder, like when I'm just pay that. But pay that one boom. The first, you know, ever you have too much of them, just, you know, so much of them. I know you have 11 one time, never. Man, let's try and kill 11 one time. Well, man, never. And you have 5 are dead. How much are dead? And then watch. And you see the crime statistics, so make him stop telling a lie, he manage crime and do things. I know. Him don't even beat the highest pan push watch. 1208. You have no time, no day, no year. But go down below 1208. I thought they 1005. Can I beat that one here? 1208. But him go around and spend. We spend the most money doing what? That's garbage. Spend the most money doing what? And then them blame the opposition now because them, like them want to do something. And in that take away human rights, but they want more power to get to the police. And we say I go and say police are set up and not people neck. They want in the police. We police are telling us they want the community police and we can't. And I'm telling you something, You see when when a man start, I the same. That means a different man still, I will not cut class or you cut class me, Me believe in 100-fold too, That's why I do not choke people. The way you trouble me, that's what for me. And remember, me have the time in the world. Yes. Me have the time in the world. Yeah. So yeah. MPC after the two. So I rather live in my wilderness and keep out of people way. When you cross my wilderness and come in my way now, and pour the ocean. Yes, man. I mean, I ask you, Then you have people, and then me put myself in our shoes as some other people. We might have stay same way where you don't ramp with. And you feel say you can ramp with them and stay all boat and ramp with some people, you don't ramp with them. You don't do it. Some brother stay in my wilderness and do what I do. Don't come in my way. Now come in your way. You come in my way now, so me and you grab it. Yes. Same. And I'm not afraid for talking my one them, so just move out of my way. And do what I do my good. Yes. Same. Yeah. When them said, hey, take for yourself. Cryptic methods. Listen carefully, yeah. Okay. Yeah, man. Hey, all right, yeah, man. Hey. Most brother than man. And then you want to give the police and soldier more power. Me a soldier go up on that attack. Say yes. And we are the soldier not supposed to have them thing, yeah. No, police, you are the police. We upon the prime minister for send you out to the police. That's a foolishness. This is garbage. The whole of this is garbage. You understand? So you deal with people, you want people to deal with you. When people cross the line, you deal with them according to. When they are ship, And you're not pretty it up. And you're not business about blah, because you're an action figure. Fuck that. You understand? And then my feelings, mutual. So who no like me, the feelings mutual. Remember, me no like them first and then for fuck after, You understand? I don't care. We are set up for equal right and justice. We no big friend. Say? Yes, man. And my kind of stand different. We not like fuck. Because we say them youth have to get pushed out. But when the Prime Minister use this and do this, we are say, no come talk same way pan the coke. We mash up the whole country. And I blacklist the country. Not even one word. When him go clean up that and talk and say him again, read it and him talk to the DA about the coke and the damn them in a coke and thing, you can't say yes and get serious. You know what this is up in the mouth about it I know. I don't know. Not even head. Not even crap. Me can't listen to them, man. Not do it. I'm going to go eat some lunch and I can feel, saying, if anything now later,
We in lump sum, we a beat it till they are my burn. We not make them get in a them and again. None of them boy, we none of them. We alone some rise up the bomber.
Original 40 said no, we not take rough up the cook up. From the other day, them face them a puff up. That they 3 little pig and the old fire off up. If them flip like a fool and leave them get crushed up. Meta, shut your beat, no speak, you meta hush up. Street furniture, everything's a get dust up. Limbs and shove, everything's a get brush up. When you see original Eastman, you must know fuck away. Lyrically inclined, be a metaphor, so no listen to.
Later.